Hey guys, you have prepared to improve your listening skills. You know what resources you want to use and where to find them, but you just don't know what method you should use to improve your listening skills. So today, let's talk about a 5-step method you can use to improve your English listening. Are you guys ready to find out what that method is? If so, then let's get into it. The 5-step method that we're going to talk about today is a great way for you to retain words and also level up your English listening skills. Okay, so to try this method out, what you're going to need is a text and a recording of that text or a computer that can read text out loud. Okay, and this is going to take us right into the first step of the method, which is find a text that you're going to use for your listening. This can be a news article, a short story, or a children's book if you like. Just find the text that's going to be at your English level or slightly below your English level, and also make sure that it's something interesting for you. And this part is very important because you're going to be using this text a lot. And the next thing that you're going to do is listen to this text one time through and don't look at the text words at all. On this first listen, just see how much of the recording that you can pick out on your own. And you don't have to know everything, of course, but on this first listen, I just want you to keep your brain free of the reading of any text. Just make sure that you're focusing on the listening. So this step is going to be all ears, no words. Okay, so step 2 is going to be simple enough. What you're going to do is you're going to take that listening that you just did in step 1 and then repeat it here. The main change from step 1 is that while you're listening, I want you to take down some notes, write down some things about what the main speakers are talking about. Do you have any questions about the text that you're listening to? Also, I want you to write those down here. And last, if there's anything else that you don't understand on this second listening, I want you to write those down here as well. Try to get as much information down as you can on this second listen through. You want to try to get a little more familiar than you did on that first listen, and that's going to be what you're going to be focusing on mainly in this second step. Since this is now your second time listening through, is there anything that you can pick up on this listen that you weren't able to catch on the first one? If not, don't worry too much about it yet. That's where your notes are going to be able to come in much bigger later. And this is going to take us into step 3, which is reading. So by now you should have been through the text 2 times. We went through it 1 time for a light listen, and then on the second time we focused in more on understanding and trying to pick up things that we might have missed on the first try. In this step, read through the text, no listening involved, and see if you're able to start answering some of those questions that you had from the second step when you were taking notes. This step is also going to be a great time for you to see if you can catch any of those words or if there's any phrases that you just didn't pick up on those first 2 times listening. Sometimes just seeing the words on a page will trigger something in your brain. It's also a lot easier to control the situation when you're reading and everything can go at your own pace. Just like in the second step, if there's anything that you catch when you're reading that you're still unsure about, how about circle them or highlight them? By now, you should be starting to match some of those words and phrases that you heard earlier with the reading. In this 4th step, we're going to start to combine those 2 listenings with what we just read, and we're going to put it all together. When you listen along with the text, this is a good way to connect your listening to your reading skills. And this is especially helpful if you're a visual learner like myself. I really want to be able to see what I'm learning so that it sticks with me. And here, just like in the first 3 steps, take down notes on anything that you still aren't understanding or if there's any phrases or things that you're just not quite getting yet. This is your 3rd time listening now, so you might start to catch some of those words and phrases from earlier that you weren't sure about. Are you starting to catch some of those questions that you had earlier? And going through each of these steps, how are you starting to feel at this point? This is going to lead us into the 5th and final step today. I want you to play the recording 1 more time, and this time, once again, use no text, just listening. And see if your level of understanding has improved at this point. So see if your level of understanding has improved. Are you starting to notice more words than you did those first 3 times? Are there any words or phrases that you still don't understand in this final listening? Well, just like before, go through it while you're listening and take down some more notes to get some final clarity in this final step. And then once you're finished, make sure that you do go back and look up those words, find out what those phrases mean if you didn't catch them yet. By going through your listening practice in this way, you're going to start to build up that repetition. You're going to start to build up that motor of listening with a critical mind so that you're not just passively catching things, but you are listening with the intent to catch new words and catch new phrases. And you will also start to build up a word bank, build up a phrase bank that you're going to be able to use later in your conversations. The more phrases and vocabulary that you can pick up on now when you're practicing, it's just going to be better for you in the long run when it comes to your listening. And I've said before for people that have been on the channel, but learning English is not going to be a short process. So just think of this listening practice as little by little, improving your listening, improving your vocabulary, improving the phrases that you're able to use in the future. Now that you have learned about this 5-step method, I hope that it really helps you with your English listening practice in the future. Also, if you got any benefit out of this video, please share it with someone else that you think this will help. Are you guys interested in learning any more English tips with me? If so, how about check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope to see you in the next video. See you.